Hello, everyone. Austin here with the post-game fan reaction of Edmonton's thrashing of the Minnesota Wild. 7-1. This is Edmonton's first win in Minnesota since, looking at my screen here, February 7th, 2019. Now, I do not do any gloating on this channel. I do not get too high. I try not to get too low. I don't ever brag. I don't ever, try and rub it in the opponent's faces. I know there are a lot of fans of other teams who tune into this channel, but for the Edmonton Oilers, the Minnesota Wild have been their kryptonite for a long time. Since I was growing up as a kid, into my adulthood, now into my 30s, this team always has Edmonton's number, and you just can't imagine how good it feels for Edmonton to go into that building against the NHL's best team and absolutely destroy them. I am so happy right now. I'm riding an absolute high. I'm going to try not to gloat, but I am feeling good about this win. I did predict the Oilers to win 4-2 in my pregame report, and that was something that, a few people were like, I don't know, because obviously, historically, it would make no sense for Edmonton to come in and do something like this, a 7-1 win. Depth scoring was there. Draisaitl, 4-point night. Everyone showed up. Everyone played a full 60-minute game. Of course, there are a couple things that we have to discuss. Number one, is Evan Bouchard okay? He went down pretty awkwardly late in that third period. He was in a lot of discomfort on the bench. I'm hoping it was just kind of the wind getting knocked out of him, maybe a bruised rib or something. He did kind of just the way his body spun after he hit the side of the net and then he slid into the boards. I really hope it's nothing serious. If he happens to need some time off, a couple days off here, they picked up Regula off waivers, so there is at least someone that would be able to step in right away, but it would be a huge blow to the Oilers' defensive core as a whole. So for Evan Bouchard, hopefully he's okay. If you end up enjoying this post-game reaction, by the way, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are not yet subscribed. Let's get into the discussion of this game. It started early. It started fast and furious for Edmonton. I think Edmonton had the puck in Minnesota's zone for 4 of the first 5 minutes of that first period. The Oilers came into this game. They looked like they were on a mission to just prove a point. Prove that not only is the run that they've been on recently sustainable, but that this team is in fact back, and there is absolutely no doubt about it anymore. The Edmonton Oilers are back. They are back into their playoff and potentially division competing status right now. They are now 11-3-1 in their last 15 games. They've won 8 of their last 10 overall, and real good signs once again. The Oilers, honestly, for the most part, haven't played a poor game in quite a while. Even that loss to Vegas where it was 1-0, Edmonton completely dominated the Vegas Golden Knights. But the Oilers finally are able to break through offensively. Goaltending by Calvin Pickard has been great. They mentioned on the Sportsnet broadcast tonight that Calvin Pickard, his last 3 losses were all games where the Edmonton Oilers were shut out. So when he gets any form of goal scoring, the team wins. If the team scores when he's in net, they happen to win the game. And tonight they gave him more than enough offense to support him, more than enough run support, and really good to see. The Oilers special teams as well, real solid tonight. Yeah, they gave up a power play goal against, but they made up for it. They scored a shorthanded goal. My boy Connor Brown, this close to buying one of his jerseys. I swear I absolutely love Connor Brown right now. Really hoping that, I was hoping that he was going to score at the very end of the game. He had a partial 2-on-1 with Janmark with 5 seconds left in the third. I think Minnesota would have been pretty mad if the Oilers had scored there, and I think there would have been some fisticuffs if just based on what the score was and the fact that the Oilers were still trying to score right to the end. But that's hockey. This is sports. You should want to keep scoring. And speaking of fisticuffs, holy smokes, did Ty Emberson ever have a fight against who was it? Hold on. Lauko. I should have remembered Lauko because he was a former Boston Bruin and I watched a lot of Bruins games. Ty Emberson's fight against Lauko was unbelievable. Complete old school scrap. They were just throwing haymakers, just throwing rights over and over and over. I do think Lauko got the better punches in on Emberson, but at the end of the day, I think it was pretty close to a draw, if not slight edge to Lauko. Just 2 players going absolutely nuts, and you love to see it. It's funny. I talk a lot on this channel how I think fighting is unnecessary. There's certain aspects of hockey that I think are going to eventually be weaned out of the game. Things that I'm not entirely against, especially because I've had my own head trauma throughout my life. But there's something so barbaric and old school about two players just dropping the mitts and throwing fists that I just like turn into like monkey brain. It's like I'm just drawn to it and I'm cheering and it gets the adrenaline up and I absolutely love it. Of course, when players get hurt, that sucks. And then we all evaluate, man, is this even worth it? But nights like tonight where Emberson and Lauko, they're just throwing them over and over, just fucking right-handed shots over and over. And I just swore. I never swear on the channel. This is what I mean. I get all pent up. I get all worked up about it. Hopefully this video doesn't get demonetized because I threw an F-bomb in there. I think it's okay because we're over 5 minutes into the video. I don't think the algorithm will punish me too bad for that. Let's get into the goal scoring, though. We'll start with the Oilers' first goal of the game. It was on the power play, very quickly off the power play. The Oilers won the draw. McDavid skated into the slot. He passed it over to Draisaitl. Initially, we all thought that was Draisaitl's goal. However, Zach Hyman just standing in the crease area. The puck happened to just nick off of the shaft of his stick and deflected in. You couldn't tell unless you slow the play down like as slow as humanly possible. Really funny that Zach Hyman gets credit for that goal because all the work was done by McDavid and Draisaitl, and Hyman was just standing there. But that's great for Hyman. That was the 7th of the season. And then Kasperi Kapanen a little bit later in that first period. Leon Draisaitl was just a man on a mission tonight. He held on to the puck. He protected it. He went around the world. He went behind the net, centered to Kapanen, who buried it. And I do want to take a look at that specific goal visualizer because the amount of work that Draisaitl did on that shift was incredible. Let's take a look at the NHL Edge visualizer. Kapanen has the puck. He plays it down to Draisaitl. They had been cycling for a good 20 seconds before this. Draisaitl with speed. He gets around his defender, goes behind the net, and he finds Kapanen, who's just all alone in the slot and buries it. Real good goal for Kapanen. Love to see that. Gaudreau, then he makes it a 1-goal game on the power play. The Oilers They almost killed off that power play for Minnesota. They scored with about 3 or 4 seconds left on it. I didn't realize at the time it did change direction briefly in front. So Frederick Gaudreau, he got credit for that goal off a shot by Faber, assisted by Johansson as well. And then Connor Brown, shorthanded, my absolute favorite player on the team. Connor Brown, it's so funny how I went from last year. If you watch any of my videos last year from November, December, January of last season, the amount of videos that I talked about Connor Brown negatively, wanted him on waivers, wanted him traded, didn't understand why they even kept him. I am so happy that I am absolutely eating my words here. I'm what I said last season is not reflective of how I feel this year, and I'm very happy to see Connor Brown with a ton of success right now. That was assisted by Janmark and Emberson shorthanded. Emberson, he was a goal away from the Gordie Howe hat trick. I would have absolutely loved to see that. And then Nugent Hopkins gets his own power play goal, once again assisted by Leon Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard to make it 4-1 Edmonton. And then Draisaitl with the just craziest goal I've ever seen. I would love to show this one. I don't know how Draisaitl scored here. Podkolzin grabs the puck in the neutral zone, finds Bouchard. Bouchard plays it back to Draisaitl. The puck, I still don't understand the physics of that puck going off of Draisaitl's stick, off of his knee, and then over the blocker of Gustafsson, who was in net for Minnesota at the time. I legitimately can't wrap my head around it. I am going to try and play that clip tonight and then discuss it in tomorrow's video because it's just absurd that ended up going in. Draisaitl's 21st of the season. He continues to lead the league in goals, at least as of the recording of this video. Third period, you had Troy Stecher score from Nurse and McDavid, and then Derek Ryan Finally, Derek Ryan gets his first goal of the season. A shot from Nurse. Derek Ryan deflected it in the high slot. Another point for Connor Brown. And real good game, lots of depth scoring. If we take a look at the Edmonton Oilers, only 3 forwards did not get a point tonight. That was Henrique, Skinner, and Perry. However, I don't think anyone played particularly poorly. I did put out a tweet after the first period, being like, I think Jeff Skinner is in healthy scratch territory. I didn't like the penalty that he took. It was kind of a weak call, but again, he's got to be better than that. He seems like he takes a bad penalty every game. and Minnesota at the time made it a 1-goal game. Luckily, it did not end up mattering, and Jeff Skinner ended up playing pretty well in the second and third period, so it didn't even matter. And then for the defensemen, Ekholm and Kulak were held off the score sheet. Darnell Nurse had 2 assists and a +3 rating, and Darnell Nurse also played the second most ice time, just under Brett Kulak, who actually logged the most ice time tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. And Darnell Nurse, what can we keep saying about his game that we haven't already said over the past couple of weeks? Darnell Nurse is playing like a $9.25 million defenseman, and if he is able to find a way to sustain this play, if Darnell Nurse is able to even come close to sustaining this play, the Edmonton Oilers are going to win a ton of games. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if Darnell Nurse were to even play at 80% of this level in the postseason, this team is in a real good spot. Nothing but positives here tonight, Oil Country. I was feeling positive in the pregame report. I was feeling positive before the game. I felt great during the game. And now that the game is over, I'm discussing the postgame. I feel even better. You love to see it. You love to see this team go into another team's barn. The best team in the NHL get absolutely throttled by the Edmonton Oilers, 7-1. Wild fans, it's just one of those games. Probably best not to overanalyze it. And hopefully, who was it on Minnesota that was injured? Middleton, I think, on defense. Middleton blocked a shot by Bouchard on that first shift. He did not return. I do hope Middleton is okay. I know Minnesota's dealing with some injuries right now, so hopefully they're able to get back to 100% soon, and hopefully there's a bit of a rivalry brewing between these two teams. These games can get chippy, and I don't think these teams particularly like each other, and for the Oilers, that's a fun thing. I love that. Kaprizov held completely off the score sheet tonight, and for the Edmonton Oilers, again, they completely suffocated their opponent, and when they were giving up chances, Calvin Pickard came up huge in net. Let's see if he's able to keep that play up as well. If the Oilers now have 2 goaltenders that are red hot, oh boy, the rest of the league better be careful. The Oilers are 100% emphatically back, 11-3-1 in the last 15 games. There's going to be a ton to discuss in tomorrow's Day After discussion. I cannot wait. If you enjoyed the post-game reaction tonight, make sure to smash the like button. And if you really liked it, oh my God. Oh no, I did it again. I forgot the victory chain until the end of the video. Oh boy. Well, when I do the live stream for the, I think I'll be able to do one for the Bruins game. I can't believe I forgot it again. That is crazy. There's no excuse. It's literally right beside me on my desk. There's no excuse to forget this victory chain. Oh boy. The comments are going to absolutely flame me. This is so bad. Well, I guess my next live stream, I owe you all another 5 gifted memberships, so be on the lookout for that. I think my next live stream, if it's not next Thursday against Boston, it will for sure be Saturday, the matinee against the San Jose Sharks, and little Christmas present from me before the holiday season, or I guess before the actual holiday break. I'm going to owe more gifted memberships because I forgot the victory chain. That is so embarrassing. I can't believe it. I'm so bad. I am so bad at YouTube. I was so excited about the win. This is why I don't gloat. This is why I don't brag, because I end up just looking like an idiot. So I hope you all have a wonderful night. Please tell someone that you love them. And of course, always fight like a kid. Always fight like Ben. Let's go, Oilers. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.